Alright, so what's going on, guys? My name's Chopper, and what I've got for you guys today is the full Rave in the Redwoods solo Easter egg guide. This is going to be a strategy guide and a tutorial showing you how to do every single step by yourself for this Easter egg and kind of going into the boss fight, what you need, and the best things to complete it. Now, I worked extremely hard trying to get this gameplay and actually putting this video together for you guys so I can make it easy as possible. So if we could aim for 250 likes, that would be just absolutely insane, and I hope this does help. And I will have more guides coming out on the channel. Besides the full Easter egg, I'll have things for wonder weapons and pack-a-punch and all that sort of stuff. So if you guys do need that sort of stuff, it will be on the channel, and the subscription would always be appreciated. So without further ado, guys, and without too much talking, let's go ahead and jump into this Easter egg tutorial. So before you jump into anything, the first thing you're going to make sure you know how to do is number 1, turn on the power, and number 2, be able to build the boat. Now, if you don't know how to build the boat and go to Pack-a-Punch at Turtle Island, I will have a link to that in the description. That's another tutorial how to get to Pack-a-Punch, and that you're going to need this to go back and forth to the island quite a bit, so make sure you do have that lined up. So upon arriving at Turtle Island, you're going to want to go up to the top of the hill where this cabin is, and once you go inside, you will see Kevin Smith up near the roof, and you're going to want to talk to him. He's going to give you a quote, and that's how you activate your first step. Now, this is going to work similarly how the Hoff did in Space Land, where you need to talk to him in between these steps. So just make sure that after every single task that you do for this Easter egg, you do go back and talk to Kevin Smith, or else the next step will not activate. Once you feel like you're relatively set up, what you're going to do is gather items for Kevin Smith, and you have to run these back to him so he can look at them. And the first piece you're going to want to get is over here in the recreational area, and there's going to be a picture right by the Karma 45. Now, you don't have to worry because this does not move locations at all. It will always be in the same spot, so you can just rely on that picture being there. But it's going to be a little bit dirty and messy picture, and you need to clean it off. The way you're going to do this is take it over to the recreational area by this big bonfire, and you're going to go and put the item right here. And so it'll begin this rave mode, and what you need to do is shoot the arms off of zombies, because there are like arms reaching out of the ground and they want to grab souls, but you need to shoot their arms off specifically, or else the souls will not gather. You don't shoot them in the head, not the legs, that will be for later on. Make sure you shoot these particular zombies in the arms, and as you can see, the souls are filling up and going into the floor where the arms are. Just keep doing what you're doing, shooting these zombies' arms off until you see this blue orb on the ground, and then you can go up to the orb and inspect it, and it's shortly going to take you out of rave mode, and then a slasher is going to spawn, but in the real world. So you're going to have to take him out, and he's a little bit tougher, so if you do have the bows, I recommend you do this, and it does make it a little bit easier, but you need to kill the slasher, or else you will not be able to move on to the next step. It's basically a brute that you've got to take out before you can even do anything else. Once you put enough damage into the slasher, he will die, and then a max ammo will spawn, a nuke will drop, and then you need to go back to where you inspected the item and started that whole ritual in the first place, and you need to go and pick up your cleansed photo. You'll see it as the blue orb right there, and you'll notice that's a little bit different because the picture will be much clearer. Take the cleansed photo that you just got, and then go back to Turtle Island where Kevin Smith is still on the roof. Give that to him, and then he will give you another quote, in which means you need to collect a second item. The second item that you're going to need to collect is going to be in the spawn room, but you want to go upstairs and over to where the Juggernaut room is, and it's going to be this picture sitting on the floor over on the right side by the corner, and that's going to be another picture of Kevin Smith, and it's going to be the same thing as the first one. It's going to be a little bit dirty, and you need to cleanse it. Now, the way to cleanse this one is the same concept as the last one, but it's a little bit different, and you're going to need some special weapons, because a regular SMG, what I was using in this gameplay, just was not working. So what you're going to do is come over to the recreational area where this big rave party is, drop your piece right here, and it's going to be the arms are going to come out of this area. But what you need to do instead of last time is shoot them in the legs. You need to take off their legs before they die instead of their arms this time. Now, like I said, it's very weird because SMGs and ARs and regular bullet weapons like that probably won't work too well. Maybe grenades might do it, but I would recommend you maybe use like a Banshee shotgun or something else, maybe out of the mystery wheel. But I would recommend that you probably get a wall gun just because it's a safe bet, and you need to take off their legs in order to collect the souls. It's literally the exact same thing as last time. Once you feel like you've collected enough souls and the blue orb spawns, you're going to want to pick it up, and then, of course, your slasher is going to spawn in. Now, you're going to want to take him out just like you did last time, how he's going to be in the real world. Either use your bow, use your bullet weapon, whatever it might be, but you're going to want to take him out, get the nuke, get the max ammo, pick up the picture again, make sure it's cleansed, and then you can take that over to Kevin Smith. Make your way back over to Turtle Island once more, go up to Kevin, hold square on him. He's going to give you one more quote, and he's going to tell you that you need to get one more item, and this, instead of a picture being this one, you're going to have to go and find a skull. But don't worry too much, it's honestly pretty easy to find. Since this doesn't move around at all, it will be down in the power room, and the skull is going to be right by the set of ropes where the mystery wheel is. So go ahead and pick up that skull, and then that is the last piece that you need, and you're almost ready for this boss fight. Make your way down to the docks, and even though this isn't a picture as the item, it's a similar concept. You're going to drop it right here in the middle by the Tiki statue, and then more zombies are going to come out. Instead of leg or arm shots, it's going to be headshots, and that's the only way to gather the souls in the arms that are in the ground, is to get these headshots, as you can see that they're all collecting, and it's going to be literally the exact same thing as last time. Once they're all done collecting and you see the blue orb, go ahead and pick it up, and then your slasher is going to... Once you are then able to take him out, grab your max ammo, and then grab your nuke, and then pick up your cleansed skull, and then you have all 3 pieces on that picture. It will be completely filled, and then you're almost ready for this boss fight, and this is where you should get prepared. At this point, I recommend you have a bow and one of a pack-a-punch, either AR or SMG. I highly recommend the Ripper that you can buy off the wall. It is absolutely fantastic. So, and also, if you do have any of these statues that you have ready on the amplifiers, the little animal statues, go ahead and pick those up and start to upgrade your bow. It doesn't really matter which one I think you pick, because I haven't really got to play it with a lot of them in the boss fight, but I did the Eagle for mine. To upgrade a bow, all you need to do is take a little animal statue and put it to where the big ones are of the corresponding one. The eagle's over here by the bonfire, and this is the one I decided to do, and all you really have to do is get about 20 to 30 kills, I think. It's not soul kills, and you won't know that it's collecting, but just kill near this thing, and once you actually have enough, it will allow you to pick it up, and it's going to instantly change your bow. You don't need to do anything else. You just need to keep killing until it'll allow you to pick up the statue. So as you can see right here, take out my last one, go up to the statue, I hold square, and then change my bows to akimbo automatically. At this point, make sure you have all the weapons and perks that you are comfortable with taking to this boss fight, and then you need to do one more thing. Go over to the power room, and you're going to see this button on the wall. It's going to give you a prompt, and you're going to hear noises behind the door, and you're going to want to activate that, and then, ladies and gentlemen, you are ready for the boss fight. So make sure 100% you have all your Fate and Fortune cards set up, you have your weapons, and you have your perks, because after this, there is no turning back. Go back over to the docks. You're going to find Kevin Smith sitting in the boat. So you want to hop in with him and you go back over to Turtle Island. But this is going to be different. And as you can see, Kevin is going to start freaking out. He's going to stand up and start sort of like convulsing and twitching and that sort of thing. So he's going to get up and he's going to fall into the water and return as the slasher. And so this, my friends, is where the boss fight is going to begin. So when you get to Turtle Island, you're going to see Kevin Smith as the giant slasher go up on the ceiling of that cabin, and then you're going to go into rave mode. And you can see that there is this blue skull right here, and you need to kill a lot of zombies under the skull or around it, and it's going to collect souls, but I cannot stress this enough. Take your time on the skull. It's going to take a while, so just, you know, get a very nice train going and kill a lot under it, but just make sure you're watching yourself, and please do not rush this step. There will be a total of 2 skulls on the island, one of each side, and once you fill them up with souls, you will see that it is done when it's a huge, thick, bright blue light up in the sky, and it will still collect souls even when it's done, but you'll be able to tell sort of, you know, when it's done, because it'll look very, very different than when it started. But you want to fill up both skulls to create a ritual circle for Kevin. This is where the other skull is, just for reference and, you know, kind of location in the island, just to show you guys where it's at and where you need to collect the souls for the second time. But as you can see on the first one, mine is quite not done yet, but the skull will just slightly raise up, and then when it's done, you'll see that big, bright blue beam, and then you'll know once you have both, then the circle will be created. When the skulls are filled, you'll notice this blue ritual circle on the ground, and you want to lure Kevin into walking into it. Once he's in, you're going to want to shoot him in his glowing areas while he's in that, and then he'll come out of rave mode, and then he will become into the real world, and you'll need to shoot these symbols that are going to be all over his body. These are similar to the ones where you're collecting the bow. They're just like the little white ones right here, and you're just going to want to shoot those symbols, and it's usually going to take a few, I think maybe 9 or 10, and they're just going to go all different parts around his body. And don't worry, max ammos will be spawning off to the side, so you really don't have to worry about that. I just like to manage my ammo. When I get really low, that's when I use them, but you're going to continue to shoot the circles until he starts twitching like this. The slasher will then go onto the roof, and well done, you're done with your first sequence. Now, the second one's going to be a little bit different. He's going to spawn in some fire on the ground, and there's going to be these green circles. So what you need to do is stand in these green circles as they are a safe zone, and skeletons are going to come and attack you. But what you need to do for this, honestly, a super good strategy is either use your bow, or if you happen to pick up gas grenades during the match, throw one gas grenade in the middle of your ring, like in the middle of your circle, and literally just run around it, and the skeletons will die because the gas grenade. These things are actually really strong, and I sort of underestimated the first time around, so if you do throw a gas grenade, it takes care of them very, very simply, and you won't have any problems whatsoever. Once that skull sequence passes, you will then be put back into rave mode, and you're going to do literally the exact same thing. Fill up both of the skulls that are going to be in the same spot, get the beams up, and create that ritual circle again. The only difference is, however, he's going to start blocking off parts of the map with these blue ghostly walls that you can see. You cannot walk through them, so make sure that you adjust your route accordingly. Skipped up a lot of the gameplay because this is a very long boss fight, but all you have to do is the second sequence, when you get him in the circle, do the same thing you did where you put him back in the real world and shoot the symbols that are on his body until he twitches again and begins the third sequence. And this is going to be literally the exact same thing as the second one, except with more walls. It's not going to be any different. It's going to start with these skeletons, stand in the safe zone, and then get your kills there. Go back into rave mode and do the final sequence to get him back into the real world, but that's where you change things up for the final fight. At this point, I'm going to recommend that you you have your Fate and Fortune card active, which is your Perkins shard, at least just to keep that for the boss fight. But also there's going to be one more on deck that you're going to want to have when you finish off the slasher for the final time, and that is going to be the twice the pain or the double damage Fate and Fortune card that you may or may not have. If you do, I highly recommend that you use it, as it is very good against him. Once you shoot the symbols off the slasher for the third and final time, I'm going to show you exactly how to take him out now. This is where he just takes all around bullet damage. You don't need to shoot him anywhere specifically, and he can just take damage absolutely anywhere. So this is where I pop my Fate and Fortune card for double bullet damage, and then I just absolutely hose him with the Ripper. Now I really do honestly recommend this gun for the boss fight, as it is very, very good, holds a ton of ammo, and if you have the right attachments, this will literally serve you probably better than any gun in the boss fight. But there you guys can see, I take out the slasher, and he's going to melt and fall into the ground, and then you have completed the boss fight, my friends. So there you go, guys. All you have to do now is wait for him to melt, and then you're going to get a quote from Willard Wyler, and then what the slasher is going to do is drop you the piece of the soul key. And just be ready, because as soon as you pick up that piece, you will then get the cutscene, the ending cutscene for Rave in the Redwoods, and then you have officially completed this. And if you want the alien fuses for the double pack-a-punch, if you have not beat Spaceland, it will be inside the spawn where the computer monitor is. But there you go, guys. Pick up the soul key, go get that cutscene, get your trophy, and then you will have this completed. So anyway, that is the solo Easter egg tutorial boss fight for Rave in the Redwoods. I hope this did help you guys, and I wish you the best of luck in completing this. If this guide and if this tutorial did help you, make sure to leave a like on it. And if you did enjoy this and you want to see more stuff like this, don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you guys are not already. Other than that, I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. Hope you get this Easter egg done, and I will see you guys on the next video.